Good morning, guys. Justin with you again. I just wanted to go over this new Titan trailer with you guys. We just got this thing all wrapped up and we got the registration on it. That was the tough part. That's kind of what delayed this trailer for a little while, is the registration with this whole COVID-19 thing. But this trailer was we ordered this trailer, so come from Ken's Truck and Trailer in Shabance, Illinois, and it was built in Delhi, Ontario, Canada. I'll show you a few of the special things they did for us. You can see on the landing gear plate here, we did the Flint Creek Titan trailers. I'll also go over some of the specs of this trailer as well. Just show you real quick here in the back. Did this cool little Flint Creek as well. And that's pretty much standard on all our trailers. Maybe just to start with these axles. It's a 30K suspension, 30,000 pound suspension, Hendrickson axles with disc brakes. At first we started out with the SAF, and they were good axle except for some cracking, and unfortunately we had to switch over to Hendrickson, and so far these have been outstanding, not any issues. And this is spread axle, obviously, so you can see the axles here. And then the drive unit for the walking floor is in between the axles, and I'll show you sometime how exactly they work. But next time I order a trailer, I've decided I'm gonna put the drive units in the front and the air tanks in between the axles, and that's for the reason so we don't get so much wear. I'll show you in a minute. These back doors are strong. You can see on another video that we broke the back doors off. The nice thing with aluminum, you can weld them back on. We don't like to break doors off. That's obviously a bad day, but they're very sturdy and it happens. We also put on this step. This is not a factory step, so it just makes it easier to get into the trailer. And these D-rings you can lift the trailer right off the ground with those D-rings. It's pretty impressive. I'll open the door here. Another thing we put on these doors is these little hooks. Hold the door in place. So here's what it looks like inside. Should say one thing about Canadians is they build their stuff super strong. So I think it's because most trailers up there are designed to haul weight. You can see these tubes that go across. I mean, that's probably a 5-inch tube, steel tube, or maybe a 6-inch steel tube. Super strong. It has 2 of them in here. The reason we go with 2 is the loader buckets are usually 12 foot, 10 to 12 foot, 14 foot wide, and they fit nice in between the hoops. So they got 3 spots to dump in this trailer. Sometimes they'll dump over the hoops, and if they do hit the hoop, at least it's strong enough. And we've only bent 1 out of the 10 Titans that we have. So, and then we have ridge straps that go from front to back. And so what the guys do is when they roll the tarp, they loosen the ridge straps and throw the straps out. So the ridge straps are there for keeping the tarp up and also for keeping water from, you know, pushing the tarp down in. So instead of running all the extra cross members, we use the tarp straps, or these ridge straps they're called. Another thing, you see these clamps? You might be like, why are these clamps here? These clamps are for holding up a sweep tarp. The reason we have sweep tarps is so we don't have to sweep. They do the sweeping for us on the floor. Here's another access point. This just shows you underneath here. You can flip this up if you need more space when you're hauling pallets. Most times, well, with these trailers, this front plate is not very, it's not as big as some walk-in floors, so it definitely gives you a little more room. A little more room on the floor access, that is. You can see the fifth wheel plate down there. You can clean it out easy. So. All right, and then we got 2 lights up there. Again, that's something that we order in. It just, if you're delivering at night, makes it real easy to see. One thing I will note as well is these panels, you can see the different panels. These panels are clipped together. I don't have any examples here to show you, but the panels are clipped together and then welded, so it's very, very strong. We've never had a wall bulge out or anything like that. They've been super strong. One of the things we do here in the back, got a guy out here hooking up. One of the things we do here in the back is these, it's called a boomerang plate, and it's just simply a wear plate because of the pressure when you're walking a load off. You get a lot more wear here in the back, and so it just preserves it. And then we also put wear plates on the floor, and again, your whole load is going over these pieces, and this just helps the floor last a lot longer. And we haul, you know, our trucks, we probably haul in 10, you know, probably I'd say 10 loads in a week on a slow week. You know, usually these guys are I'd say 2 loads a day minimum. Mostly they're, you know, running 4 to 6 loads a day. We haul a lot of wood chips, a lot of different things, but on average I'd say these guys are probably, you know, maybe 10 to 15, 20 loads a week. It varies from week to week, so we definitely wear those wear plates down. So I mentioned to you earlier about the drive units, and that is right under here. You can see where these bolts are holding the floor down to the drive units that run this floor, that make this floor slide front and back. And the reason I want to put it front here in front of the axle is because in the back is usually where a lot of the weight is, so they get a lot more wear. And what happens is these floors actually wear down so much that these heads get wore down, and eventually the floor wants to slide, or the aluminum slat wants to slide, and it buckles out from those screws. And so we have to weld in patches and remount it to the floor. So if I put the drive unit back here, it's not going to get as much wear, and I think it will let us run the floor longer without, you know, we change these floors, we swap them about every 5 years is about what it holds out to, and it still lets me, you know, if I put the drive units, or sorry, if I put the drive units here in the front a little bit further, it still is not in the dead center, so I can still swap the floor and not have any issues. If you guys also are familiar with walk-in floors, you know that at the back you get a lot of wear right here on the edge, and so we have this little gap here, and that seems to help a lot with wearing off the end of these floors. So that's been huge. We put this little edge protector on here, help protect the lights, and then also these bumpers. That's just for backing in the docks. And these, the cool thing with these is they go up and down, so if your trailer's maybe bouncing a little bit, they will flex. Something else I want to point out to you that we were first introduced with Titan is the front door in these trailers, and that is, I don't know how we do without it. And the guys that run these trailers are like, you know, you got to have the front door. It makes it so easy. You can climb right in and out of here, and when you're unloading into like a pit, you can hop in there while the floor's still running, and you can start sweeping out. And not only that, if you're backed up to a pit, it's really hard to get into the back of these trailers. You almost have to climb through the pit. So this way you can climb right through here. It's a much safer way. Just show you another thing that we put on this trailer that is brand new. All right, here's the top of the trailer. You can see the ridge straps. This trailer, first ever, we got this crazy new tarp system from e-Cargo, and like I said, this trailer's never been used before. I'll show you guys how this thing works. My one-handed tarp rolling will probably be a failure, so I might have to put this thing down. You see this handle fits in there. By the way, I think I pointed out it goes in there. So this is going to take two hands. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I don't know if you guys can see this design. This lets me tighten the tarp as tight as I want it. And many times, you know, with the regular handles, we always put our handles at the front. You pull that handle out, you try to adjust it. Well, it's kind of a pain. It's not a big deal, but it's a pain. This assures you every time you can cinch that tarp very tight. So that's what I like about this. Will the drivers like it? I'm not sure. Now, if I can pop this pin out. You can see how it pops out of that. See, also we changed and went to these red things, and e-Cargo, I ask for blue ones and you give me red ones. That's okay. Everything else around here is blue except our tarp holders are red. All right, you can see in the back, I don't know if you can or not, but way in the back is, at the other end of the tarp, is a bungee that goes into the end of this tarp and keeps it tight, and it keeps the tarp at the back end rolling consistently with the front. There you go. And then I'll show you these straps. And they say it's an art. I don't know, but they say it's an art to be able to throw a strap. You see all this extra strap here? That's what I do when I throw a strap. Make sure you got plenty of strap. I'm gonna do it one-handed. Some of our guys struggle with throwing straps. Well, I've done it for a while. This strap material's light, but you kind of go back and forth a bit, maybe once or twice, and you swing it across, and your tarp is over the side. So you can do this two-handedly, much faster, much better. When you're pulling this tarp back in, there you go. And then we put a knot in it. Yeah, they did. You put a knot in, that way it doesn't pull out when you're pulling these straps out. Another thing we like with these is, well, the first couple trailers we bought without any of this big cage, and it was kind of, didn't really like the look of this big bar here hanging up in the front, and figured we'd do our own little thing. Well, sometimes you're better off just to let it to the pros. So all the rest of our trailers we got with this. So I'm going to shut this tarp again one-handedly. We'll see what we can do. There we go. And you can see it doesn't have to be tight, just hold up against. All right, here we go. To crank the tarp. All right, you guys might get dizzy here. E-cargo. I don't know if I like this or not yet. So that's who this new design came from, is E-cargo. I'll put a link in the comments. Now what did I do? All right, I don't know what I did. I think I know what I did wrong. Nope. I was gonna say maybe it needs to be front, but it needs to be back. I think probably some of it's my one-handed shenanigan here. There we go. Got that locked in. Tarp is tight. All right, you can see I'm a little new at this. This is one of the first times I rolled this tarp. All right, now my cam lock's not going. Okay. Done. Guys, sorry for the delay. I don't know what happened. But I keep you updated if we like this system or not. Our other tarps are a little bit different. I'm used to those, so could be just me not getting used to it. Got this foldable step here in the front. can see the light cords dump the air in the back. Hydraulic lines. Also want to point out this trailer's been aluminum cleared by Goods Transport. This is just a few days later. Trailer's loaded right now. It's been just a few days, maybe a week or two, and many loads. Right now we're in the heat of mulch season and we're running about 7 loads a day. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching.